Well, good morning. Just so that you're not taken by surprise, I want you to know that today we're going to pay a couple of visits to outer space, do some time traveling, and I'm going to introduce you to a personal advisor who will help you whenever you wish for the rest of your life. And of course, we're going to do this in the 20 minutes that are allotted for the lesson. Let's begin with a question. Why do people attend church? As you know, my wife Bonnie and I did what used to be called piecework in Unity and is now known as consulting for the Unity Worldwide Ministries. We help troubled churches make peace with their past so that they could move ahead. And one of the exercises we used in that peace process was designed to get at the core values of the church. In many ways, these core values are a projection of the wants and needs of the congregation. The core values are what people who attend the church are really looking for in the church. And our experience has been that the church core values tend to be inner directed. That is, people come seeking healing and guidance and support and illumination for themselves, rather than being outer directed and trying to change the world. This seems to be a normal and certainly an understandable thing. So where does one get this kind of guidance and support in a Unity church? We don't have a lot of pat answers or dogma. In fact, many of the people who find us have been dissatisfied or even hurt by the pat answers or dogma of other denominations. Have you ever noticed how few people you meet who were raised Unity? I'm sometimes reminded of the statement on the Statue of Liberty, which starts, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." People seem to come to Unity because they're yearning to breathe freer, because they believe there has to be something more. Other denominations tell people about an out there, usually male God who has all the answers. Pray to him and obey his rules and everything will be okay. You may have a totally miserable life here on earth, but if you toe the line, why, someday you will make it to the inner circle of obedient boys and girls and go to heaven. Other denominations scare the heck out of people by telling them they won't get to heaven unless they do the right stuff. They scare them by telling them that if they misbehave, they will go to the other place and be punished for eternity. On the other hand, Unity really scares the heck out of people by telling them they already have all the answers within them. We tell people they're responsible for their own lives. We tell them it does no good to blame the out there God or others because we're each responsible for our own lives. Now, let me be really clear about one thing here. I'm not saying that if a person gets into an automobile accident or they come down with a terrible disease, that they caused it by their actions. There are things that happen to us that we have no control over. What we do have total control over is how we react to the things that happen to us. It's easy to see examples all around us of people who've had terrible things happen to them and use those things as stepping stones to even greater stuff. Stephen Hawking, the great cosmologist, spent most of his adult life dying from Lou Gehrig's disease. Yet from his wheelchair, he taught classes, he wrote books, did brilliant research. Others chose to give up when he faced the same circumstances. Actor Christopher Reeve was thrown from a horse and became a quadriplegic. And in spite of or because of that disability, he went on to make real difference in the world around him and lived a very full life. We don't always get to choose the things that happen to us, but we can always choose how we react to what happens to us. This is a really scary concept, and it's a core tenet of unity. So if unity won't give us a father figure or a bunch of hard and fast rules to help us make the most of our life, what is a unitic to do? Well, we can look to the Bible for some hints. Mark 11:23 says, "Truly I tell you, if you say to this mountain, be taken up and thrown into the sea, and if you do not doubt in your heart, but believe that what you say will come to pass, it will be done for you." And from Paul's letters to the Ephesians 3:16, "I pray that according to the riches of his glory, he may grant that you may be strengthened in your inner being with power through his Spirit, and that Christ may dwell in your hearts through faith, and as you are being rooted and grounded in love." The Bible is telling us to look inside ourselves for the answers. And when we go inside ourselves, we get closer to this Christ Spirit that is there waiting to help us. Each and every person has within them all that they need. This morning, we're going to pay a visit inside our hearts. For the next few minutes, we're going to do a meditation exercise that will take us inside and will give us new things to help deal with life. So get comfortable and let's take a journey together. I invite you to get into a comfortable position, whatever works for you. Allow your eyes to close and begin by just focusing on awareness of your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in easily and effortlessly, and then breathing out. Each breath allows you to become more and more relaxed and more comfortable. If you should be aware of any outside sounds, they'll just serve to help you go deeper and become more relaxed. As you allow yourself to go deeper into a state of relaxation, remember a time when you stood before a body of water, a lake or a pond. It was quiet and peaceful. You tossed a pebble into the water and noticed the ripples rippling out. One ripple after another, flowing outward, further and further. The ripples slowing down and becoming further apart until the water is once again calm and peaceful. I invite you to imagine that your body is like that body of water. As you drop a pebble into the center of your body, you can feel the ripples of relaxation moving out from your center. Waves of relaxation flowing through your body, up through your torso into your chest, your back, up through the vertebrae and spreading out into each and every muscle of your back, through your shoulders and arms and up to your neck, your jaw, face, and scalp. Feeling these ripples just relax you as your muscles let go and become soft and loose. Feeling the ripples of relaxation flowing down to the bottom of your torso, flowing through your abdomen and pelvis, and down through your thighs and calves and ankles and toes. And know that each time you drop a pebble in the center of your body, you become more relaxed. And as you become more relaxed, you find yourself becoming more quiet and peaceful. Another pebble drops and you relax further. And another pebble. And yet still another pebble. And now gently bring your attention to the spot between your eyes, what some people call the third eye. And imagine there's a bright light there. The light has a color to it. See the color growing brighter and brighter. And now imagine that colored light becoming a beam of light that extends up into the sky and out into space. And now your body follows that beam as it goes up into the sky. You leave the building you're in, floating up into the air and above the town. You feel very safe and secure as you rise upward. The town is growing smaller beneath you. You can make out the whole state with all its landmarks. And you're moving higher and higher, and the earth grows smaller, gradually becoming that big blue-green ball we've seen in the pictures. You're enveloped by the wonderful softness and quiet of space. Allow yourself to enjoy this perspective for a moment, floating in space and just looking back at our planet. And now notice that there's another beam of light very near you. It's a different color from the one that you followed out into space. I want you to connect that new beam of light and begin to follow it back down to Earth. The new beam of light is taking you back to Earth 10, maybe 20 years from now, years into the future. It's taking you to the place where your future self lives. Keep following the beam down, noticing how the curvature of the Earth disappears as you get closer. Notice the topography and geography stretched out below you. Good. As you come closer to the end of the beam, notice where you are. This is the place where your future self lives, you 20 years from now. Come in contact with the earth and notice where you are. Notice what dwellings or nature is around you. See it vividly. Smell it. Hear it. Experience the sense of the place. What is it like to be there? Now move to the dwelling of your future self. What does it look like? What kind of landscape does it have? Are there trees, flowers? What kind? Really breathe in and absorb the feeling of this place. And now easily move to the door of the dwelling and know that the person on the other side of that door is your future self, you, years in the future from now. Your future self is fully and comfortably in touch with the Christ Spirit within. Do what you need to do to get your future self to come to the door. And greet your future self. And notice the way your future self returns your greeting. Take in this person, this future fully Christed you. What does he or she look like? Notice how he or she stands, what he or she is wearing. Get a sense of their essence. Take time to notice the inside of the dwelling. What kind of person lives here? What are the colors and senses and smells of this place? Now move with your future self to a comfortable spot for a conversation. Really settle in, make yourself comfortable for a conversation with your future self. And begin by asking your future self, what is it, future self, that you most remember about the past 20 years? What stands out the most in your memory? And take a moment to hear the answer. Now ask your future self the following question. What do I need to be most aware of to get me from where I am to where you are today? What would be most helpful for me to know so that I can get where you are? And then listen to what your future self has to say. Now take a moment and just ask your future self your own questions, whatever questions you want to ask. And now ask one final question of your future self before you go. Future self, you're called by a name other than your first name, a special name. It could be a metaphor or a symbol of your essence. What is the name you're called by? Good. Now bring this visit with your future self to a close and thank him or her for being with you today and sharing their wisdom. And your future self tells you that you're welcome to come back at any time. You can visit your future self and seek counsel anytime you want to make the journey. Your future self makes it clear they will always be with you and easy to contact. You just need to relax, and close your eyes, and visualize yourself being there, and you will be. Now find your way back to the beam of light and journey up the beam, watching the years in the future grow smaller and smaller as you move out into space. Again, you see the marvelous blue-green ball with the clouds swirling around it. And notice that this beam of light has intersected with your first beam, the one you followed into space from the present time. Switch from one beam to the other and follow the first beam back to present time Earth. And as you travel down the beam, notice the Earth getting closer and closer. See the detail and geography of your current location. You're coming back down to the present time in your present location. And now you're arriving back. In a minute, I will count backward from 3 to 1. And at the count of 1, you'll be refreshed and alert as if you've had the perfect amount of rest. You'll remember all of the details of your journey to meet your future self. 3, you're coming back to the present time, becoming more alert and refreshed. 2, stretching your body and feeling the ground beneath you. And 1, refreshed and alert. Take a moment to become fully alert and reflect on your journey. Know that this is a meditation exercise you can do whenever you want to go inside and get in touch with your own Christ self. You will find that each time you do it, it gets easier and more rewarding. And you now have another helper for your journey through this life, a helper who is part of the core of your being. Enjoy the journey, and God bless you. Namaste. Thank you.